CalazCon is a show about war, obsession, colonialist occupation, and the many forms of violence those inflict. See the description for content warnings specific to this episode. Good afternoon, Worm AI actor B Rootkit.
Please, call me Worm. It's easier for everybody.
Very well. I'd offer you a seat, but that appears to be unnecessary.
Physically impossible, yes.
So I've been looking over the reports from the Farm Upstate, and it seems you recently received an assignment from your creator.
It was, it was more of a request.
Something to do with a deal with the vermin to get them on our side?
Oh, that's what it was. Oh. Oh.
Now, tell me about this plasma cannon.
All hail CalazCon. I'm Mo. Welcome to episode 1 of the Tier 2 R&D Squad, aka the Farm Upstate. I'm going to introduce our players, and we're going to play a session of Beam Saber. We're going to start with Helter Highwater.
Hi, I'm Atlas. Mostly he, him pronouns. I'll be playing Helter Highwater, who uses he, it, and we pronouns, and they are the Transformed. You can find more information about me on my itch page at itsatlasatlas.itch.io, or you can go to my new website, atlas.pizza, and there you can see a preview of a game I'm working on with someone else on this call. I'm sure you'll hear them introduce themselves soon.
And we have Tansy Rue.
Hi, I'm Palmina May. My pronouns are they, them, and I play Tansy Rue, pronouns she, her, who is the ace of the squad and also a disaster lesbian / magical girl in a mech suit.
And then we have Worm.
Hi there, my name is Ruby Soleil Rain, she, her. I am playing Worm, a sentient computer virus, using the proxy playbook. She is also using she, her. You can find the tabletop RPG I wrote, Ascendancy, on gemworks.itch.io.
And we have Verbal Acquisitions.
Hi, I'm Miff. I use they, them pronouns. I'm playing Verbal Acquisition, who is the bureaucrat. Verbal uses he and they pronouns. And if you hear me referred to by a different name in the first few episodes of the show, just ignore that. Verbal is a bureaucrat. I am very much not a bureaucrat, and you can find me on the internet at Adjacent Statham and follow music that I make with great-great-great-great-granddads or Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead.
And I am not half as cool as any of these people, but if you're interested in any of my stuff, you can find it at ashyfeet.com. I want to give a special thanks to Jacob N. for sponsoring our squad, and Gabe Gonzalez for sponsoring this episode. And now, on to episode 1, Fun with 5G. We're going to introduce our squad to you all through a series of vignettes. So, we're going to start with welcoming Tansy to the team. Tansy, let's play a scene with your squad leader, your new squad leader, new to you and also new to the squad, Witsin Mekwala. You show up. How are you dressed when you show up on your first day in a team? Are you wearing your ace gear?
Oh, yes. So I'm wearing bright white pants with knee pads and really stylish, functional combat white boots. They look kind of like moon boots. I'm going to say that.
Hell yeah.
Also, black leather jacket with shoulder pads and elbow pads. Just kind of like a little ruffle on the collar, just subtle. not too frilly or anything like that, but just like a little touch. And then of course, I've got my face all glammed up with pink and lavender clouds on the left side of my face, with matching stars twinkling across my forehead to the other side. Today my hair color is bubblegum pink and my beard color is baby blue, so I look adorable.
Nice. The first person you see when you walk in is probably Verbal. Do you greet Tansy?
Yeah, I probably am immediately like pulling up. Do we want to go full clipboard right away? Is that too...
Absolutely.
Yeah, Verbal is in, I think they're called the BDU military pants. They're like very standard.
Basic just uniform?
Yeah, perfect. A nice shirt, cozy sweater over the shirt. The 70s Parker, if you know these like blue Parkers from England with the orange interior, and then has like Dayglow safety vest straps over the Parker. Safety first, always. Sees Tansy, I assume, looking a little lost, arriving in. Comes up, goes for big handshake. I think is a big handshake person. And is like, Miss Rue, we're so excited to have you here. Joining the squad. I'm gonna be honest, it's a weird squad, and I want you to know that up front.
Oh, weird how?
You're gonna meet some really interesting people today, and it's gonna be great and good and exciting. Yeah, I just want to say, excited to have you. We have been really missing someone who can do incredible stuff with a mech, is something I will say.
Oh, all right then. And I want to say that Tansy, the whole time, like, Verbal's hand has been offered to her. She has been ignoring it. And when he says that, they've been looking for an ace, she does little finger guns at him that kind of like pews off into peace signs that go like across her eyes.
Great.
Nice.
Great and good.
This scene is interrupted as Wits End, the new squad leader, stumbles out of his office. You see, as he looks up and sees Tansy, the world goes into slow motion for him. But I don't know if it goes into slow motion for anyone else. Hello. Tansy Rue. Wow. Welcome to the squad.
Oh, thanks so much.
Can we talk? He'll put his body physically between you and Verbal and escort you into his office.
All right, she follows.
He closes the door. Are you ear hustling or anything, Verbal?
No, I'll let it go. I think that me and Wits have our own history.
All right. Well, we will talk about that. He sits down and you see him kind of, he's out of sorts. He rubs his hair back and he says, so glad to have you here. We're making awesome stuff here at the Farm Upstate. Don't believe anything you heard about what we do. I'm new and it's going to be better.
Oh, all right then. Well, my parents have donated a lot of money recently, so I'm sure everything is wonderful. So excited to be here.
Yeah, that too. And we need somebody who can really put the new weapons and technology through the paces. And you're the best at what you do.
Oh, you know it. And she does the finger guns and the peace sign thing again.
Oh, that's cool. All right. I'm going to walk you around and introduce you to the team. And we will, we're going to get you in the cockpit of something as soon as possible. If you need anything, please let me know.
Oh, I definitely will. Thanks again. Wilson, was it?
My name is Will, but...
Will. Oh, I love that name.
When I was in the field, they called me Wits End. But you could call me Will.
How intriguing. Will.
All right. Right this way. So if somebody going to be introduced to you, Worm, how would they do it?
Oh, God. I think the biggest problem is finding her first. Like, I presume just for the sake of, like, R&D, just because, they know Worm is here, she probably has, like, a small, like, network of TVs that are connected to each other that she's just able to drift between.
Nice.
And I just imagine that it's, like, hard to, like, actually, she's just always, like, somewhere, wandering around various places.
Okay, so Will is going to get up. He's going to think about if he should put on a jacket or not, and he doesn't put on a jacket. It's a lab coat that is very clean. He's never worn it. He leaves the office without it, and he takes you, Tansy, to a bank of screens. And he says, this is one of the more interesting of your compatriots, Worm. Worm, are you here, Worm? And he just starts talking into the air in front of this control panel that clearly has, keyboard input, palm reader. There's a box there that you could kind of put things in that can be analyzed. He just kind of starts looking around and talking to the air. Worm? Worm, are you here?
Oh, are they doing a live?
I've got a brilliant idea. Hear me out, all right, boss? Hear me out, boss.
So can you give us a description of how you're showing up?
Yes, I think so Worm drifts in, like, from the left side of the monitor bank as if they're all, like, one screen. And she, like, drifts in lazily floating on her back as if, like, she's in a pool, but she's not. She's just floating. She just doesn't have a body. She's not beholden to gravity. Her visual projection, Worm has she's got a very wiry frame with, like, bright purple hair tied back in a ponytail, and it's, like, really uncannily long. And whenever she moves, it drifts behind her like it's like a physics object in a game rather than like actual hair. Like, it's not beholden to gravity or anything. It's just kind of drifting along as she moves. And she is like wearing the equivalent of like a DFS uniform plug suit, but she's modified the accent colors to be purple instead of just whatever the normal DFS colors are, much to everyone's frustration. And she just like she's just drifting in on the back, like with a completely shit-eating grin.
Worm, are you here? I want to introduce you to someone.
I just had the best idea. You're the new boss, right? All right, here's what we got. A gun that shoots hack. You take a gun, take a flash drive, put me in it, shoot it at a guy. How's that?
And do they die from digital overload?
No, fuck, you don't get me. Who's this?
Oh, hello. I'd like to introduce you to Tansy Rue. She's our new test pilot and also security personnel.
Your shoes are weird.
Tansy's eyes are just like so big, just staring at Worm and like taking it all in. And when Worm says that her shoes are weird, like her expression kind of drops for a moment, but she quickly recovers into a bright smile and is like, oh, well, that's all right. They're not for you, they're for me.
All right. You can tell yourself that. Name's Worm. I don't know who this. Sorry, you said this is a new person on my squad?
Yes, she's going to be our test pilot and our security team in case we end up going in the field.
Ah.
So is this the AI for my RV?
Well, maybe.
How could I'll have you know, I am Worm :AI/actor.b !rootkit. I am a self-contained individual AI computer virus, and I am no one's stupid assistant.
Oh, of course, yes. Pleasure to meet you, Worm. Is it all right if I just it's the only part I can remember. All right.
Worm will do.
Lovely.
I just like start doing like backflips on the monitor closest to Tansy.
Tansy is just staring. She's very entranced by the animations.
It's like a screensaver, but live.
After you've done several flips, have gotten lots of attention, Worm.
Oh, she is soaking it up. I am so happy about this.
Will clears his throat. Come with me, Tansy. Miss Rue, I'm sorry. Let's go meet a couple other of your crewmates, your squad mates. Where do we find you, and how do you look, Helter?
Tansy and Wit have to like go into the like lab area to like find Helter, because Helter's not like maybe not working, but like is in the lab, is not like coming out to meet anyone. And we probably see Helter, like, I think we're in, like, Helter is probably in the, like, biology lab area, and there's, like, big tanks of stuff that are weird. I think one is, like, suspiciously empty, but there's, like, a bunch of, like, weird invertebrates in, like, different cages, and Helter is, like, feeding one of them or something.
Wits End brings you into this lab, Tansy, and he says, this is another one of your squad mates, Helter Highwater.
Helter has not, like, turned around to look at them.
Helter.
Tansy was about to do the finger guns thing.
He says it louder. Helter Highwater. I'd like you to meet the new person on our team.
Still does not turn around. And why should I care?
She's just kind of like frozen with her finger guns like half up. Doesn't know what to do.
So Tansy Rowe is going to be our new test pilot and security if we have to inevitably go into the field.
And then Helter does like a big dramatic sigh, like, you're clearly like, doesn't say this, but is like putting on the act of like, you're inconveniencing me so much by doing this. And like turns around, and Helter is like short, probably shorter than Tansy, has big round sunglasses that they're wearing, even though like we're inside a lab, like in a darker area. And he is got really poofy blonde hair that's like tied in a ponytail, so like from behind you can kind of only see the hair. And he's wearing a sleeveless jumpsuit with a black lab coat over it. And like if you look closely at like his chest area under the jumpsuit, you can see like the beginnings of like fresh wounds, sort of, or like things that have been stitched up, like stitches. And he looks like kind of a little sick in the way that like, oh, you've like lost too much weight or something, and now you look because you're sick or something, and just doesn't look healthy.
Yes. Okay, so Tansy like just casually lowers the finger guns and it's like, oh, Helter, pleasure to meet you. So excited we'll be working together.
I'm sure
you know so much and I can learn so much from you.
That's not really my goal here, but
she doesn't say anything.
Wow. The welcome wagon.
I am so sorry that we're all like this.
No, it's perfect. Also, like, should be noted that Tansy has kind of been holding some tension as these introductions have been proceeded. She's kind of like holding her breath. And the reason, unbeknownst to all of you, but probably known to Wit's End, is that she used to be part of the public connections core of the DFS, which is, you know, pretty much like the PR squad. And she did not do a good job there. So she has been moved elsewhere. So she's very glad that it hasn't come up in any of the introductions that like that's where she has been transferred from. So she relaxes now, like each time she's introduced to a new person, relaxing a little bit more. But
Wit's End is going to kind of sigh in relief when you decide to actually engage Helter, and he turns and he says, and we have one more. I think you've already met, Verbal. And you see him kind of roll his eyes. You hear him. You hear him roll his eyes, Helter. You guys go back to near. Where would you be found, Verbal?
Like the loading dock, probably like big open door garage space. Well, I guess we maybe don't have that given our base location. But whatever our like loading dock garage is.
I mean, we got it, right? It's a mech
I guess
anime.
so, yeah. Okay. So if there's some way for like, I imagine it's like cold air to be coming in, and it's like it's in that kind of garage space where you're like, I wish I had brought more layers because I am effectively outside, and yet I'm still covered over, and there's like vehicles and forklifts and people moving stuff. Like it's very activity, like physical activity. Things are moving and being rearranged and loaded and unloaded and stuff. That's where Verbal thrives.
And is this where some of the adepts might be working on stuff?
Ooh, yeah. I don't know much about our little team.
The Gun Dogs is their name, and we will figure out more about them as time goes on. So Wit's End is going to approach you as if you two hadn't met. He says, and this is Verbal Acquisitions. He and I have worked together before.
Yeah, Wits is a fucking weasel, let me tell you. I'll tell you that up front, just to be clear.
Do you say that?
Tansy, yes, absolutely.
Oh, he totally blanches pale. He's like, weasel? Listen,
you're a turncoat.
Just because everything isn't your business doesn't mean that, like, I'm a bad person.
This dude tried to audit me so many times and failed miserably each time to find anything wrong with my books.
I make sure everything is up and up and the way it should be, and that's why I'm in charge. And don't you forget it.
I'm surprised you can hold a pencil, Wits. I'm going to be honest.
can Tansy roll a consort?
Absolutely. Who are you trying to consort with?
Verbal.
Okay. We have a die for consort. did you want to push yourself or get a collateral die?
No, just a regular old consort. Let's see what happens.
All right.
And then... Ow. Yeah.
First roll for the love of God, please.
3. Okay.
Verbal, you've Googled Tansy.
That's a 3, by the way, just for the audience.
Yeah, sorry, that it's a fail. It's a 3. So Verbal, you've Googled Tansy. She was introduced as your test pilot and your protection. But Tansy, what would really show up if someone were to do a search for your name and records?
Yeah, so you would find out that Tansy Rue is a well-known makeup artist influencer who goes by the handle Glitch Kitten. And she still makes videos from time to time to just kind of keep her presence going, but since joining the DFS and joining the war, that's not her primary thing anymore. She does still have fans and followers. You might also have seen her in some photos with few also well-known CalazCon cosplayers. She's not a cosplayer herself, but she would hang around with some of those folks. So yeah, they would do collabs. So that's what you would find. So that's what you know. And so Tansy, trying to get on Verbal's good side, says, I'm sure your books were all in order, which can be very handy, of course, in our line of work. And she just kind of winks at him and does one finger gun.
Even knowing that, I don't think that Verbal is someone who's gonna turn on Tansy quickly or anything. I think it's, given the squad that we work with, I think being pretty accepting of people's foibles, let's say, is probably high on Verbal's list. As long as we're at the same rank, you know what I mean? Verbal's beef is always with superiors and not people in the same tier as them.
So do you think this fails because it's an obvious I'm trying to butter you up thing?
I think it's more when you say oh, your books are always in order, it's oh, you're just from a different world. You know what I mean? Verbal's background is in criminal enterprise and you're a rich person who can hire accountants, and it's oh, we're just we're coming at this from 2 different points, and I thought we might be on the same level, but I see that actually the place of privilege you're coming from is so different to mine.
Nice. We are going to end that scene. Helter, in your lab, approximately, not exactly, what are you up to when we have the flashback to the experiment that created you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the middle of the night, right? This is it's 3 a.m. and we're in the labs at work when we're not supposed to be. Yeah, and it's there's these, it's the same thing that we saw. It's these tanks. I think it's a bunch of specimen stuff of different weird animal invertebrate bug things, and there's some big tanks in the back where there's clearly murky water and some other stuff going on. It's just me and the other lab head, I suppose.
Can you give us a very vague but suggestive flashback to what happened when the experiment was over?
If we want it to be vague, it's me and this lab head who, this is probably a person that we have seen in the background of another shot or something. If it's the lab, it's the middle of the night, the only the low lights are on and not the highlights, and we're in the back of the lab where there's doors to a medical theater, and we see Helter and this other person talking go into they both nod at each other, and then they go into the thing, and we get a cut where it's okay, well, it's the same shot, but clearly time has passed. And they come back out, and Helter is leaning on this this person is helping support Helter as they're kind of barely able to stand. And there's a lot of blood on both of them.
Do we get any insight or inkling as to what has happened?
Yeah, I think the thing that the cut from it being the cut of the time passing. I think in the first cut there's one of the tubes. One of the tanks, there's a tubular tank that's in the back and is next to the door, and when it cuts to the time has passed, that tank is empty.
Is it totally neon and toxic and not right to be putting in a human body?
Yeah, no, it was gross.
I love it. Verbal.
Mm-hmm.
What do you suspect Wits In is up to?
Yeah, I think that to give some exposition, maybe, I think that Wits End was someone who was involved in the same kind of like criminal activity that Verbal was as a younger person before conscription, and then basically became like a cop, like a auditing cop, using the knowledge gained by like being in that criminal enterprise. So like just this immediate like distrust of a person who's like prepared to do that and then turn against the very people that had like brought them up and taught them all the tricks. So to find them here and have like brought me in so close to them, I guess, like, are we saying that Wits End was the person who like brought me on board to this squad?
I want to say yeah.
Okay, sure. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of like, I'm anticipating, I don't know, maybe they have a little bit of a Jean Valjean Javert kind of vibe. Maybe just as homoerotic, who knows? But just as much singing, though. That's the weird thing.
We do have karaoke parties here.
There we go. That's true. So I think I'm probably suspicious that I'm under observation in some kind of way, and that where Verbal tries to like get things done behind closed doors in some kind of ways and has workarounds for making sure we get to do the things we want to do, that Wits End is the kind of person who is trying to crack down on my capacity to wheel and deal my way through the war.
Worm, you get a message from Bo Blue. Before we open this message, I think we need to do the scene where this person has meaning to you and what's at stake. What was your first thought?
I think for Worm, it's maybe not anything like dignified or interesting. I think it's probably just like diagnostic done. Hey, wait. Being ordered to complete a diagnostic test, and then at the very end of it going like, wait, hang on, I thought that to myself. That's weird.
How you doing, little buddy?
Good, I think. Bat, I think. Good. Huh. And I think like on the monitor in front of Bo Blue, there's a bit of like Worm just like kind of looks at her hands and is like, whoa, like okay. Like in some sort, like I think like running through her head, there's this sense of like, it's not like astonishment at being alive because she knows that she existed before this, but an acknowledgement of like, suddenly I'm thinking and I'm like present and can acknowledge that I am.
She leans back in her chair and she taps the microphone. She says, "Can you hear me?"
Yeah. Hi. Hello. Hi.
You are a very important part of this program.
Thank you.
We have a lot of work for you.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I'm here, right?
I've spent years getting it right so that you could be as amazing and wonderful as you are.
I am pretty amazing and wonderful, aren't I?
You are. I look so much forward to seeing all that you can do.
I'm happy to do it. Just tell me what you need, boss.
Well, first of all, we have this message from Eva Gillier, our enemy. And there are possibly lots of lives on the line. If you could get this decrypted.
High stakes for my first job. Let's see what I got. And I think like she like cracks her knuckles, but like no sound comes out.
You start processing.
I kind of want to know, does she like, is it like a file on her computer? Okay. I like the idea, if I may, I like the idea that she just like puts the file on the desktop and I like physically grab it and like open it up like a letter. Oh, yeah, give me like 10 minutes.
10 minutes, she says. Helter, are you part of this scene?
It could be.
Bo Blue gives you a nod and says, "Look at this one, 10 minutes. Isn't she amazing?"
Yeah, like Helter comes. I'm kind of imagining this is like more from Worm's perspective, and that like you're seeing us through the screen, sort of, right? Or like through.
Yeah.
That's like the vision I'm having. So like Helter like comes over and is like peering at the screen and is doesn't have like this. This is far enough in the past that Helter probably looks better and like doesn't have the sunglasses and stuff. And is like, and you think this one's the one?
This one is gonna do some things. This one is special.
Right here.
And we also see like a softer Helter, like someone who's actually interested in what's going on, you know?
Aww.
Yeah, and like Helter like peers closer at the screen to like watch you do the thing.
Yeah, I think like Worm literally has like just the file icon in her hand and is just like tossing it up and down and has her eyes closed like she's thinking. And like I think as Helter approaches, Worm opens her eyes and just goes like, "Oh, hey there.
How's it going?"
Oh, just pondering a little bit on this stupid thing," and she like grabs the file and just like shows it to the screen. Gotta get those skills sharp.
Well, welcome to existence.
It's pretty cool. I'm liking it so far.
And when you're done, Bo Blue, you see her face drop and her eyes widen, and she says, "Wow. You've done great." And she runs to her office. She gets on the line, and she starts coordinating things so a squadron doesn't get ambushed. And you saved many lives that day.
And that's why they pay me the big bucks.
Or something. You have a message from Bo Blue. Bo, who the former leader of the Farm Upstate, who has been demoted to pretty much kind of break fix for, what do we say, the 86? Yeah, she's been demoted to the fire team of the 86.
Can't believe there's a squad lower than ours. I like the image of like Worm just sitting on her computer and she gets like a little pop-up notification of like email received, and then just immediately like reaches into the file and like pulls it out.
Worm, I hope you're well. I miss you so much. I just got word through channels. There's an ellipsis before channels that a John Gillian squad has just stolen a CalazCon antenna.
An antenna.
This antenna is hard-coded with all of their communication and possibly so much more. It's suspected that these antennae have their plans, their schedules. They are part of a non-centralized data nervous system for the CalazCon infrastructure. Say the word and I can get it to you.
Worm just like reads this and gets like a mischievous, chaotic grin on her face, like, oh yeah. I think like she leans back and just goes like, that'll get him to respect me. That'll get it. And then immediately sends a letter back to Blue that just says the word.
Nice. She sends you some coordinates. She lets you know this is probably going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
You'll be picking up the tower from a character known as King Rat.
Oh my god.
Just bring it home. Let the bureaucrat sort out the who, what, and wins.
Worm reads that and just says to herself, like, which one?
She sends you coordinates, an encryption key, so you can communicate with King Rat.
Would this be like I get in touch with King Rat right now with this key? I mean, yeah, fuck it. While I'm just sitting, I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting here.
You hear the staticky transmission of encryption keys linking. Your digital ear sockets are blasted by the sound of a loud vehicle in overdrive.
Jesus.
Where you want this or what?
Yeah. Hello? Hi, hello.
Okay, meet us at the drop-off and send some nerds because I need a favor. Then you can have this thing.
All right. I mean, fuck, we're the nerds. Where's the drop-off?
I gave you it's in the sewers. I gave you the location. So it's near the giant crystal that the CalazCon are using in the Heskal storm drains complex. It's very near where you guys are. If you had a truck You could probably get there in about 20 minutes.
And let me tell you, we got a truck. Yeah, okay, I think, like, Worm just, like, leans back and goes like, all right, I'll see if I can get someone there. Just hold on, don't get killed or whatever the fuck.
Hurry up. We need to get rid of this damn thing.
And we'd love to take it.
Oh, don't just sit there, shoot back. I gotta go. Bye. He disconnects.
That doesn't sound great. I think Worm just, like, floats there for a second, thinking to herself. It goes like, who the fuck has a truck? Verbal, bit of a fucking paper pusher. Would he do it? Would I get in trouble? I don't need to get in even more trouble right now. Ugh, fuck. Alright, fine. And, like, she just, like, drifts off of the screen and appears and is going to go find Verbal. I think, like, whenever she moves, it's a little bit, like, halfway between flying and swimming. And I think she just, like, drifts off the side of the screen to go try to find him. Verbal has a clipboard.
Oh, that's great. If you can just clippy your way up. Hey, it looks like you're trying to run a mission.
That is exactly what I was gonna posit.
Yeah, I'm super into this.
Okay, great.
Pop up.
Pop up. I like the idea that, like, I like the idea that Worm creates her own little pop-up with, like, her face on it, and then, like, a notification bar in, like, the bottom of your screen.
Yes, yeah. I also love the idea that I can, like, reject it as well.
Yeah, she will not listen.
Yeah, totally. Normally, it's just whatever document I'm working on is just, like, cleared without being saved, and I'm like, oh, come on.
Right, exactly. It's, like the top, she just changes the sentence you're writing to be like, hey, I need your help.
Yeah, I will definitely accept this pop-up request. I guess depending on what time of day it is, but I assume it's not like some bizarro time of night that we should be asleep if I have clipboard in hand.
Let's say it's the end of the workday.
Oh, I don't know though. It depends. Are we like clocked out or are we about to clock out?
You are on the clock.
Okay, then I'll answer it.
Hey, hi, hey Verbal.
Hey Worm, we're getting close to the end here, so you're gonna have to make this one snappy because...
No, look, sorry, my bad. Okay, so, I'm just gonna say it. We may have gotten a illicit CalazCon radio signal that has a bunch of, like, encryption keys and shit that might be extremely useful to us, and, I can't go and get it because I don't have, arms or a truck, and it would be extremely useful to us if we go and get it, and we'd have to go get it right now because they're currently in a gunfight.
Okay, we're going to have to requisition gas at twice the price because this is going to take us over the workday. So I'm just going to need... You're going to have to clear this with wit's end first and foremost. And then if he approves the overtime and the gas expenditure, that's no problem.
I see. Could you repeat all of that around 3 times and then write it down and email it to me? I forgot every word you just said.
Has like ready to go the overtime form and fuel requisition, and it like flies over to you. Had already started pulling it up once you started explaining we're gonna need a truck, as they are watching the second hand of the clock move towards 5 p.m.
Oh fuck, that's a lot of paperwork. Okay, got it. I'll go fill this out. I'll be back soon.
Is this just you and I? Or wait, is this just me? Hang on.
I was about to go off and be like, hey Helter, do you want to go do this mission without telling anybody?
Great. I love it. The pop-up disappears and I'm just like, oh, okay. I will go look at my truck.
All right. Helter, where are you at the end of the workday when a pop-up shows up on your screen?
Like still working on something, like the like opposite of Verbal. Verbal is like, okay, time to clock out. Helter is like, I'm never leaving. You will have to drag me out of this lab.
Damn, I can't believe you're a scab too.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, like cleaning a tank or something.
Is there like a screen nearby you or something, or like?
Yeah, Helter's like clip. If I think it's fun if we all have like digital clip pads, but Helter's is like the screen is like broken. Like it's like it's like on the ground right now, but near Helter's foot or something.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I like the idea that Worm comes in to the clip pad and like treats the breaks as if they are actual like walls to the screen.
That's fun.
Like I think Worm just pops into your clipboard. Hey Helter, 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 hey Helter, hey Helter.
Yeah, Worm. And like compared to like how Helter has responded to like anyone else, Helter like actually likes Worm.
Yeah.
And so like it's like, yeah,
bond.
what's up, Worm?
Hey, do you want to go do an illicit job?
For what?
Without telling the pencil pushers?
Sure.
Hell yeah. Basically, there's a just CalazCon radio tower decryption code. You get the whole gist. We gotta go get it like right now.
Do we need like how are we getting it back here?
Fuck. Apparently, I asked if we could get a truck, and they gave me like homework.
Oh, you were talking to Verbal.
I was talking to Verbal has a truck though.
Look, I'll handle Verbal.
Truck.
I'll handle Verbal. You go get that new kid. Maybe we can get them killed.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
They'll at least be good as like a human shield.
Yeah, buy a few shots.
Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to Verbal.
At the very least, it'll be fun.
I think a very funny next scene would be like Verbal like getting into their truck for the end of the day or whatever, and like Helter is already in the truck.
You bring in a new kid to get killed. Are you gonna get her something to drive? Is she gonna have backup or?
My plan is to now talk to Verbal and convince Verbal to do the paperwork. So
Got it. Okay. So who's talking to the new kid? I'm just curious.
That would probably be me. Since clearly I do not have a way with Verbal.
Well, you do. I mean, like, you could decrypt, 2 terabyte, encryption in mere moments. I'm sure you could fill in some blanks on a form.
You can forge a signature, right?
Exactly. I'm like,
It's more... It's more that at the moment, I think considering Worm's situation, she's a little wary of pissing off the pencil pushers who can decide to kill her project at a moment's notice.
I love the air quotes situation. Where are you, Tansy, at the end of the workday? I want to say this is maybe your second week.
I'm in my bunk. No one else is in here right now. I am making a makeup video. My hair right now is turquoise, and my beard is lavender, kind of like a pinkish lavender. I don't know what that would be, but yeah, you guys get it. Currently, I am kind of doing these like teal and neon green swooshes on the outside of my eyes. My whole thing is like eye makeup. That is my specialty, I should say. So I'm doing this, and it's my first live stream that I've done in a while. Yeah, so I'm doing this live. I'm just talking to my audience. So yes, and then we get this lovely little swoosh over here. Make sure you just want to do a very light touch, or else it'll be too heavy, and we don't want that. I like to put a little bit of glitter on top once everything is dried, of course, but...
Worm, like, pokes her head into the middle of the stream camera, like, the stream video, and just, like, looks into the audience.
It doesn't say anything, just looks.
Yeah, just like pokes her head in, like as if she's like looking like like a meerkat.
Great. Okay.
Just like looking around, trying to wait for Tansy to notice her.
Perfect. Okay. So Tansy is now like unscrewing the top off of a bright pink, like a fluorescent pink mascara thing, and she's about to put it on her lashes, and she notices Worm, and she says, "Oh, how lovely, it's one of my squad mates. Worm, say hello to everyone."
Oh shit, you're live? Oh fuck.
Of course I'm live.
Worm just like ducks back down, and she's like,
I don't know if I'm allowed to be on camera.
People start posting worm emojis in the chat.
So Tansy's just gonna like try to smoothly recover from this. Do you want me to roll anything for this, Mo?
You have narrative control. Do your thing.
I am. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's a 6. All right. So yeah, so I think when Worm like hides and kind of like whispers that thing, Tansy's just gonna laugh it off and say, "Oh, just a new feature, loves. Just testing something special out for my glitter kitties out there. Hope you like it. See you later. See you soon, loves." And she just like ends the stream abruptly. And then is there like a chat feature that I can like call up to like interface with Worm again? Or is there like something in the like can I just pull it up on my phone?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. Okay, great. So I do that. Sorry about that, Worm. What are we doing?
We got a thing.
Right.
A thing.
A thing?
What's the thing?
What?
The thing.
Thing.
Yes, mission. Do you want to go on one?
A mission. Oh, yes, of course. It's my first one. My first one with the squad. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, right. Yes. I need to get my boots, and I need to. Oh, I've only done half my face. It's all right. It's the style now. Yes, lovely. Where we?
Worm is like watching Tansy freak out with like the grit, like a smile on her face, as if you like are watching the most enthralling play in the world. Like, this is not how people behave.
Where are we going?
Sewers.
Oh,
Like the sewers we're in right now. Same sewers. We gotta grab something important. There's like a gunfight.
I'm going my OV, right?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great. Let's go.
I think so.
Yeah, so I guess Tansy just starts heading towards the garage to get in her vehicle.
Did we actually need a mech? Did we actually need that?
As we're getting into our mission, let's talk about what our objective is. Our objective is to retrieve a antenna from King Rat, a CalazCon antenna from King Rat. You have coordinates for where it happens. There is an opportunity in gameplay for you to get information. That was your briefing. Your employer is going to be Bo Blue. Your target's going to be the antenna. Do you remember, Worm, that they said the rules of engagement is that they need you to fix something? So send some nerds, right?
Fix something, send some nerds. And that would probably be, we got our cohorts, right?
You got to bring the cohorts?
I mean, did we want to have the Helter talking to verbal conversation?
I love that conversation.
Oh, yes, please. I'd love that conversation.
I'm trying to figure out if you guys want to do any research on the mission before we drive.
Oh, before diving into it?
Before we drive into a gunfight.
Well, I just assumed the stuff that we're going to take with us probably depends on verbal, so...
Yeah, this is partially, like, trying to see... Yeah. I think the verbal scene... Personally, I'd like to see it right now, but...
So, verbal, at a certain point, you go get in your truck.
Hell yeah. The truck is like, there's only the driver's seat up front, and then there's... Worm, are you ever going to be in this truck?
I mean, probably. It's possible. I don't know. I can't predict the future.
Then it should have 3 seats behind the driver's seat, just in case we ever need to have three bodies in here.
I mean, I don't have a physical body.
Yeah, that's the other thing I wasn't sure, is like... But you might get one. You never know.
We can just like strap in a screen into the seat.
Yes,
right?
true.
Yeah. Just like tape an iPad to the chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want big parent with kids behind them vibes for us when the others are in my truck at this.
Yeah, and the scene is definitely you get in the truck and it's like the camera is like facing you and then like Helter like sits up from the back.
Oh God.
Hey, verbal.
Do you do this a lot? Is this...
Yeah.
Okay, great. I don't think I even, like, jump. You know what I mean? It's just like...
Yeah, it's just like... I heard you talk to Worm. And, like, verbal is being, like, nicer to you than, like, normal, and that's still not very nice, but it is... You can tell that he wants something.
Yeah, totally. I think when dealing with Helter, a tick that happens a lot is, like, rubbing the, like, bridge of their nose with the, like, mound of your thumb. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, great. Okay, Helter, hello, yes. Helter, you don't have the superiority necessary to sign off on the fuel requisition.
Right, but, like, we're gonna go anyway.
Okay, in that case...
I like the implication that Worm does have authority to requisition fuel.
I think the assumption is you have to go and speak to or forge Wit's End's signature at some point. You know what I mean?
That makes more sense.
I think as you say, Helter, when you say, like, we're going to go anyway. is like, okay, starts pulling up another form and hands it to you, and it's one that says you will be responsible for any costs incurred, and it will come out of your paycheck.
Yeah, Helter will sign that.
Okay, great. All right. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I do just want to point out the clause that your lab's funding can be reduced to support logistics. Just there is fine print.
Give me the other one.
Just hands you, like, sends the other doc over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's, like, this is clearly just how this happens.
Yeah, you just keep signing off on things, and it's like, why don't you need a paycheck, Helter?
Because I live in the lab.
If you sleep on the cutting table, you don't need to do.
Yeah.
You don't need a bed.
I love the idea that every one of Verbal's paychecks, like, has the bit under it that's like almost like dirt pay or something, but it's always like funds from Helter's paycheck that have been appropriated into the logistics department.
And like Helter pats you on the shoulder as they're signing it, and I totally forgot to mention that Helter is missing 2 fingers on their left hand.
Mm-hmm.
So like we see that here, but yeah, Helter's just like, yeah, I'll sign whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, right, totally. You should bring the muscle.
Yeah. Do you have like a mech for her? Because did she come with a mech, or is she like a regular?
She
muscle?
didn't come with a mech, but you guys had something that was a project that was put aside a long time ago, and it was interesting, but like other stuff has come up, and then your boss got fired, and then new people got put here. It has not been a priority.
Valmina, what is the name of your mech?
So its primary form is called the Kitty Hawk.
Is it just a coincidence that we have a piece of gear called a Kitty Hawk, given your social media tags, or is it?
It might be that you decide to give it to me because like it's a funny coincidence. Yeah.
I like the idea that she kind of went into the graveyard for unfinished projects, and she saw this cat thing and was like, I want that one. And in 2 weeks, it has been kind of gotten up to snuff. And maybe everything isn't working, but you made sure it got a paint job.
In that case, then, can we do? Helter says, "Do you have a mech for her?" We both look out the windscreen, and walking into the garage is Tansy in the mech.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Just cut to it. Yeah. Yeah, so cut to the garage where you see Tansy has just like hopped into the little like bubble pilot capsule on the front of this vehicle, which is a modified Claymore, standard issue from the DFS, like the typical Claymore model, but it has some modifications. The most noticeable one currently is that instead of a humanoid head, it is clearly a cat head, and including whiskers. Okay. It is like just slight, like the angles on it are just like slightly bubbly, as opposed to like sharp angles. But yeah, it still looks kind of like big and boxy, I guess, or yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. I'm not great with shapes.
Do you know what those other buttons do yet?
No, I do not.
Excellent. Let's just move on.
I like the idea that, like, written on like some masking tape or something, it just says like "big dog" over the one button. You're like, that's probably fine.
you all have an opportunity to figure out what your approach is. And you also have an opportunity to figure out if you want to do any research on the information you have at hand. Or you could just go in, guns blazing. We'll make a engagement roll with no modifiers because you didn't do any research. But, yeah.
Tansy is team no research at this moment. What about y'all?
I'd be happy to maybe declare a contact because of my background as a sketchy dude. I'm assuming someone called King Rat. Also not a totally chill and above the board, on the level guy, you know what I mean?
I like where you're going. How are you going to do research on King Rat?
Like I say, I was thinking I might declare a contact. Yeah, we have some names to choose from.
We do have some names to choose from. We can also make them up because we don't have a million names.
Okay, I saw one earlier that was daylight robbery or something equivalent to that. Highway robbery, which feels like the exact name I want for someone who works with the King Rat.
Okay.
Highway robbery, she, her. She's now working with the Vermin. Fast moving hover. Okay, so she's a driver. She's a driving specialist. She was a getaway driver that I knew. Last time I saw her it's just a bank job. If you're a getaway driver, you've got to be doing bank jobs on the regular, as I understand it. That's your number one source of income as a getaway driver is bank jobs. I think what we get is so highway robbery in the driver's seat, and we are dropping people off as we go, each one of them with a set amount of money, and we are gonna pool resources later as a way to split up attention. Right. And so we get masked verbal in a paper bag mask, that weird doctor from Guilty Gear, that kind of vibe.
Faust. It's a lot of Guilty Gears coming up today. This is a Ruby day today.
Yeah, it's for you. That's one of the few ones I know. It's there's a witch, there's a weird doctor, and a rad yo-yo girl. And yeah, so it's me getting out the car and slamming the door, and the last words that we say to each other is highway robbery, or being I'll meet you at the rendezvous point, and that's the last time we ever saw each other.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. My consort is one of my better skills, so I get 2 dice on this. Perfect. 6 and a 1, so that's a 6. So we're tight.
So how do you want to contact Highway right now? Do you want to give him a call?
I guess we're going to find out if she is currently involved in the same gunfight as King Rat is.
Do we cut to us in your truck, driving on our way there?
Yeah. We can do have a 80s style car phone. You know what I mean? It's the handset, and it's plugged into something.
Yes.
It's the audio jack into a synthesizer, a modular synthesizer or something, or a switchboard.
You know what? We made that roll. That's awesome. Can we resolve that scene in a little bit? Can we resolve that scene last? Who else is doing something?
I am admittedly a little curious about one particular thing that's sticking out to me. And I think, we see Worm, mulling over this, and she just, keeps muttering to herself, I could investigate, I could get even more in trouble, but also, I kind of gotta know what the hell's going on. Okay. And what I want to know is, Rat King, presumably, is kind of a shady dude.
The man's name is King Rat. Take it or leave it,
I kind of want to know how Blue got involved in this. I want to find out, what Blue's part in this is, because I got a very sudden email that was hey, Worm's not gonna take a look this gift horse in the mouth, but also you do want to know what the horse's teeth look like, just so I know whether or not to take it to the fucking horse dentist,
or if there's Greeks inside it.
Exactly. I want to check this horse mouth for Greeks.
Did you want to look at Bo's communication? Did you want to see if there was anything that was forwarded that had metadata in it?
Yes, that's basically what I was thinking about. I wanted to see if I could get myself into Bo's email. Like, presumably, like, took her computer away and shit. Or, like, locked it down when she was kicked out. But, like, I have to be able to, right?
Listen, I see no reason why you shouldn't make a roll.
This would be interface, I guess?
Interface. You should be good at that.
Yeah, that's a 2...
Did you want to push, or did you want a collateral die?
Ugh, I love collateral. Let's take collateral. Girls love collateral die.
If you fail, Blue will know, because Blue, as you are very well aware, is a hacker.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's roll it. So that's 3 dice. 3d6. Give it a roll.
That's a 6.
That's a 6.
All right. So are you looking in Blue's old computer?
No. Like, I'm looking through, like, Blue's old, like, new shit. Like, not the old stuff. I'm trying, like, I'm hacking into her, like, her current communications. I wanted to find, because I know that her old stuff isn't probably not going to have anything.
You have the encryption code to talk to King Rat. And you see that Blue has used this encryption code many times. And all those messages have been deleted. If you wanted a project, we could see if we could undelete that. That is beyond the scope of this level of research we're doing right now.
I see. But, so, like, is there... How far back is this going? Is it just, like, a few days or, like, a few weeks? Years?
Let's say Blue got fired about 2 months ago. This goes back a couple years.
Shit.
Things get real busy when the CalazCon shows up.
Okay. Fascinating. In that case, yeah, I think this seems like a fun project.
Helter.
Helter's not doing any prep. Helter is, like, lying down across the 3 seats in the back of Verbal's truck, napping or something.
And Tansy is fingering triggers or something like that?
Yeah.
Sorry?
So is the truck in the garage too? Like, are we all in the same location right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's
Okay.
enough room on the flatbed that if you can, like, sort of curl your mech up, you can, like, get on the back of the truck, but also run alongside, you know?
Oh,
Like,
I see. Okay, yeah. So Tansy is kind of exploring the console inside this Avi, and there's a triangle button that she presses, and when she does that, you see these kind of like little, or not little, but like some crystalline wings kind of pop up behind the arms of this Avi, and she hears the sound and she kind of like looks around in the cockpit and she's like, oh, so cool. I almost forgot my character voice there. But yeah, so then she kind of like looks around and she's like, okay, I guess we're not going to be flying right now. So she presses it again and the wings kind of retract and she's like, I'll save that for later. And then, yeah, she just kind of like walks up to the next to the truck and is looking expectantly at the squad.
I think if you've been here a couple weeks, I'm going to do your finger guns back at you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Finally, a payoff.
Yeah.
All right, let's figure out our engagement role. Oh, we got to resolve a scene. Make your phone call, Verbal. Verbal, I'm sorry. What was your code name?
Oh, hey, everyone, what's my call name?
What was your code name when you worked with highway robbery?
Oh, and I see. Ooh, great question. Let's take a quick look at the list of fun words I have. It was Marechal, the French for marshal. I don't know if French exists in this world, but
Listen.
we can only hope not.
Sure.
All right. You make the phone call.
If the call connects, is there a similar noise level to when Worm spoke with King Rat before? Like, is it...
There's absolutely a similar noise level. You hear screeching tires, you hear gunfire, and you hear, Marechal, this is a bad time. Call me later. The phone has not disconnected yet. What one thing do you have to say? And I'm gonna have you oh, you rolled a 6. Damn it. Okay.
If I get one question though, that's a good.
Is this on speaker or only in your ear?
No, I think it's like I have like a full-on classic telephone like handheld receiver that I put up.
But I'm just asking, does anybody else hear this? That's my question.
I think they can hear like my end of the call, but not the other way. I think the question I want to ask is like, can we trust King Rat?
Wow. I've been well. I hope you have too. In a bit of a pinch right now. That depends on who you ask and what you have to offer.
I think I just say like, vouch for me, yeah?
Yeah. I might need something in return, but sure.
Yeah, when don't you?
Well, you're calling me right now.
And it's so lovely to catch up.
Can't wait to see you.
We should do this more often. Oh, we're gonna be there.
All right.
I have a new toy to show you.
How small the world is these days. Oh! You hear an explosion. I gotta go.
Yeah. All right. Okay, take care. Call me when you get there.
The line's dead. Yeah. All right. Somebody's got to make an engagement roll. We have to ask: is this mission bold?
I think so. We're just gonna drive up in our truck.
You're leaving work with company equipment. You're driving up in your truck to do what? I think it's very bold. At least it's ballsy.
It's ballsy, but I don't know if ballsy equals bold.
I think it does.
At the very, like,
it's
this
bold.
This is pretty average for R&D. Is going to take a random machine in the middle of the sewers.
But not one that's usually in the middle of a firefight.
Decent point.
That our superior did not tell us to do. That we are going on a voice message from your creator /X question mark.
/mom. If I think about that, it's gonna give me a headache.
Oh no.
Does this mission exploit the target's vulnerabilities? I don't think so. Is this mission ineffective against the target? No, so we're still at 1 die. And we got a luck die, so we're at 2 dice. Is the squad receiving external support for the mission?
I have someone on their team.
We got
That is my pal.
We got somebody on the inside, so let's take...
And King Rat.
Well,
yeah.
We'll see about King Rat. Are there other factors affecting the mission? I'm going to say that depends on the roll. So we'll start with 3 dice. Who's rolling?
What is our approach? Just to be clear, is it transport? I'm assuming ? The route is through the sewers, but it could be stealth. But it's a big truck.
I think this is transport.
I'm also feeling transport.
Which makes this the first and only time I have ever rolled a transport in any FITD game.
Incredible. Valmina, does transport sound right to you? Also.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's go ahead and who's making a roll?
Well, it's a 5. That could be worse.
That's a 5.
Could have been worse.
Thank you for rolling a complicated success, because that was my favorite one.
No problem. No, that was what I was trying to roll. I thought it would be more fun.
Thanks for listening to CalazCon. This episode was edited by ScienceBird. You can find them on Twitter as @Vetaro. That's VETARO. Sound balancing for this episode was done by Christine Blight. You can reach her for voice acting at CVBlight@gmail.com. The show's music is by Devin Nelson. You can find all of their work at devindecibel.com. If you'd like to support CalazCon, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/CalazCon. Please tell your friends about the show too. Remember, all glory to Calazar.